Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we'll be discussing the new Camila Cabello record, Romance. This is the sophomore album from the well-known Cuban-born singer. It is hard to have avoided Camila in the music world, especially when it came to her 2017 hit Havana featuring Young Thug. Prior to this massive success, Camila broke through into popularity as a former member of Fifth Harmony and collaborated with Shawn Mendes in 2015 for their song I Know What You Did Last Summer. Frankly, I was surprised how young the pair of artists were back then and how the world was still unaware of the potential that they would unlock, because Shawn and Camila, they struck gold yet again with Seniorita, a song that soundtracked many people's summers in 2019. Not mine personally, but others. With Shawn and Camila's fish kiss and tabloids suggesting a relationship between the two stars, 2019 has very much been an all spotlights on them kind of year. Waiting to see what the two will do next and how their music careers will evolve, the second studio album from Camila came with the added pressure of already being an established big-time, big-stage performer who has racked up no shortage of music awards and nominations in the past few years. So when it came to the singles on Romance, some diehard fans couldn't help but to feel let down by the lack of punch or flair. Shameless and Liar were co-lead singles that doubled down on the Latin pop trends, but with less memorable results compared to Havana. However, after I stopped comparing these tracks to Havana and worked solely within the confines of Romance as its own creative project, I realized that these are two of the better tracks on here for their dark and Latin tinged sound. What makes a Camila Cabello song good in my opinion though is usually one that has to limit or contain the amount of falsettos on a track, because let's just say this, Camila's voice, it's an acquired taste. Living Proof is probably the most obvious example on Romance for its horrendous falsettos I can't stand, not to mention the hand claps that are out of time. The acoustic guitar is quiet and the mix has a void to it, and it puts way too much focus on the vocals, which, like I said, are horrendous. The performance is by and large the main issue I have with this song. There's nothing wrong with the melody, I think it's catchy, I just feel like Camila isn't cutting it here. Luckily though, these moments of shaky vocals come few and far between, as Dream of You is like the only other song I can think of where the falsettos are questionable. They actually might be a bit more tolerable than what I'm used to by Camila's standards. As for the rest of Romance, I am pleasantly treated to a slightly above average album. It's not going to make a year-end list or anything like that, but I can definitely groove along with a lot of these tracks. Cry For Me is a notable single that longs to figure out how a lover can move on so quickly, and it adds in this screeching guitar and one of Camila's most desperate and genuine vocal performances in recent memory. My Oh My with DaBaby has a walk-along bass line and an eerie mood to it. It really sounds fresh and stylish for Camila. DaBaby also comes through with a few funny bars, and it adds to his impressive and growing resume of features. In addition to My Oh My, there's another song on here called Bad Kind of Butterflies, which is a song that similarly accomplishes a brooding tone for the album. This Love is a song on this album that has a 6/8 time signature. It's a slow burning ballad that questions why Camila is falling for her lover over and over, playing into his hand or game. Moving on from there, Used to This, although lyrically a tad quick and unnatural when it comes to Camila's timeline of moving on to another man in San Francisco, I still enjoy the song. It acts as one of the decent tracks on this album before setting the stage for this track called First Man, which is a touching finale for this record with the naked emotions that Camila promised on the song Shameless. Not only this, but she also comes through with the natural timbre of her voice. She's stripping back all that auto-tune, all the gimmicks and tricks. We have bare vocals too. Sadly, Camila, though, she does complement a lot of the great tracks on this album with some fluff and filler, such as Easy. This is one of the songs. With this track, I feel like it is underwritten, it is underwhelming, it is pretty mediocre, and it's running through the motions. Also, we can't forget about the song Feel It Twice, which is pretty sleepy and boring in my opinion. But at the end of the day, for Camila Cabello's Romance, as much as it's kind of scattered all over the place with its quality between songs, I do think there is a slight majority of them that I enjoy thoroughly. If you can get past Camila's voice, it's not really bad per se, it's just potentially grating for some people. I know for me in the past, I've never been able to get on board with it as much as I have with this album. I've actually kind of grown to tolerate her vocals on here. But yeah, overall this album to me is pretty decent. I don't think I will come back to it for a lot of future listens. Either way, I still have the respect for this. It's not a sophomore slump by any means, and I'm glad that Camila has got her head screwed on right. She realizes the importance and risk with loving someone. He who is brave enough to love must also be brave enough to lose that person. You gotta be vulnerable to the point of surrendering and being unsure of what will transpire on the journey of love. This is the interesting prologue that Camila urges her listeners to read before listening to Romance, and I have to say, it is a breath of fresh air. It's a very mature statement to make. Lyrically, leaps and bounds beyond the Liam Payne record I just reviewed. So Camila Cabello's Romance, I'm feeling a 6 out of 10 on this one. Make sure you sound off down below in the comments. Let me know what you think of this music. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new in town. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a rockin' day.